As long as the internet and the concept of virality has been around, so have internet challenges, intentionally giving yourself something difficult to do in front of an audience of millions of people to either do something fun, support a charity, or to go viral. I decided to make an iceberg image compiling some of the most impactful internet challenges in my mind. If you're not aware about how these iceberg images work, the higher the entry is on the iceberg, the more well known and generally safer the challenge will be, but as we go down the iceberg, the entries become more obscure, and towards the end, incredibly difficult and dangerous. If applicable, the entry will be given a warning beforehand in case there is content you would not be comfortable watching. I want to give a massive thanks to anyone who has ever contributed to the website Know Your Meme. This page is an amazing encyclopedia for the history behind memes and internet challenges, and has been incredibly useful with the research of this video. Let's get into the video. Planking. Planking was an internet trend that started emerging in popularity in 2011. You would lie down on surfaces with your arms to the side and legs on the ground in weird locations, and that was the entire trend. It became incredibly viral, being referenced in TV shows like The Office and South Park. The trend wasn't all fun, however, as it resulted in many deaths due to people not considering their safety when doing the challenge. A 20-year-old man plunged to his death after planking on a 7th floor balcony in Australia. So while the trend was mostly silly images, there were still a lot of serious situations involving the challenge. Dance trends. Dance trends aren't really challenges from what I define them as, but there's so many that I had to talk about them all in one group. Dance trends are dances you record yourself doing and post them on social media, particularly TikTok. This can be renegade, in my feelings, which I just learned isn't the thing from YouTube Rewind. It's actually this car thing, but there's no danger in most of these trends. My problem with calling these challenges is that they're not really challenging in the way that a lot of these others are. No disrespect to the art of dancing, it is definitely a difficult task to learn this choreography and then perform it to a standard that you are happy with. But this is dancing, rather than doing something like the cinnamon challenge, which poses an actual health risk. I'd call these trends more than challenges. The Ice Bucket Challenge. The Ice Bucket Challenge is probably my favorite internet challenge out there. It's fun, it's for charity, and had tons of virality. What's there not to love? The Ice Bucket Challenge grew popular in 2015 in support of ALS, a foundation that supports research for the motor neuron syndrome, ALS. The idea they had was to spread popularity was to get celebrities to pour buckets of ice water on their head and nominate someone else to do it. This spread around the internet rapidly, with pretty much every major or minor person on the internet doing it, with it even starting and breaking out through mainstream media sources such as talk shows. Because of this popularity, the Ice Bucket Challenge raised over $200 million worldwide. The challenge really knew how to take advantage of internet trends and how people act online, and was an incredible success, and it's honestly just tons of fun to watch your favourite celebrity get dunked with water. The Cinnamon Challenge. The Cinnamon Challenge was a viral challenge that started in 2001, but peaked in popularity in around 2012. You would challenge yourself to swallow a spoonful of cinnamon in under 60 seconds. The challenge is pretty popular, but much like many of the challenges on this iceberg, it caused several health risks. As someone way smarter than me said, specifically Amelia, Judy, and Stephen, I don't know why I didn't say your names in the script. I don't know how to pronounce your names, I just didn't write them in the script in the first place, which is my bad, but they're on screen now. Quote, attempts to swallow a large quantity of dry cinnamon carries a real risk of aspiration. At least 30 participants nationwide have required medical attention. Yeah, I'm getting scholarly on you. While the challenge is entertaining, it can still be incredibly dangerous. Bottle Flip Challenge. The Bottle Flip Challenge wasn't just a challenge, but in 2016, this was a way of life. You've got to flip a water bottle, try to make it land on its bottom or the cap. I am proud to admit that I still do this with friends when I'm bored. It's a fun and cute challenge to do. Wikipedia said it got popularized by a kid at a talent show, but you already know I learned this from the GOAT Ryan Higa and thousands of other videos showing off tricks back in 2016. I'm gonna try landing this, let's see. That was horrible. Grimace Shake. The Grimace Shake was weird as hell. It started off as McDonald's releasing a drink to promote Grimace, which is one of the mascots, and Grimace's birthday, which seems innocent enough, but a trend started on TikTok where people would film themselves in horror situations after drinking it, essentially hijacking McDonald's trend to make it more dark and disturbing. It was incredibly popular, with there being song parodies and thousands of videos people wishing the poor mascot a happy birthday. And it has become a very popular meme with Gen Alpha, and you kind of hear it a lot in that kind of terminology. But it's just really funny to see how McDonald's set up this entire marketing stunt and then immediately got hijacked by people trying to make it into this dark thing. The Chubby Bunny Challenge. The Chubby Bunny Challenge is a task that challenges the person doing it to put as many marshmallows as they can into their mouth and say difficult to say phrases. It was a huge viral phenomena, with not just YouTubers doing it, pretty much everyone doing it. Hell, even Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy did it. I miss this era of the internet so much. may be obvious, but this is incredibly dangerous, as putting that food into your mouth can block your airway and cause you to suffocate, with at least 3 people who have been confirmed dead doing it because of putting the marshmallows in their mouth. Harlem Shake. The history of the Harlem Shake may be one of my favourite things on this iceberg. The Harlem Shake is a challenge where during the intro of the song called Harlem Shake, you and the people around you would stand around normally with one of you dancing. Then when the beat dropped, you'd all start dancing and being crazy. It was a huge trend back in like 2011, 2012, with many YouTuber personalities doing it. I always remember this one by PewDiePie being my favourite as a kid. Don't know why. The funniest thing about it was who started the trend, George Miller, otherwise known as Filthy Frank, otherwise now known as Joji. I had no idea he was behind this trend, but honestly, it just makes a lot of sense. Bird Box Challenge. Bird Box was a 2018 Netflix horror film based on a book, and while I feel like nowadays the film didn't really have that much of an impact or isn't widely spoken about, upon release it was incredibly popular, becoming one of the most watched films on Netflix within 28 days of the release, with it still being number 3 on the list as of me writing this video. The challenge started when Netflix was promoting the film, teaming up with Australian Twitch streamers to play games blindfolded. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any of the VODs for these streams. I would love to show you because it is the patient zero for this challenge, but unfortunately they may be lost media. This ended up causing several influencers to start making videos of them performing tasks doing the Bird Box Challenge, which would be covering your eyes with a blindfold. It's hard finding a metric for how popular this challenge was, as many of the videos that were released got deleted because of YouTube deleting the videos because of health and safety reasons. There was this infamous one by Jake Paul where he does his usual thing of walking around and pissing people off, and even walking across a busy street while blindfolded. Anything for the views, I guess. Netflix warned people to stop doing the challenge and to be safe in conjunction with YouTube, started to remove videos showcasing dangerous behaviour while doing the challenge, with the biggest video of this challenge remaining having 3.8 million views. Tide Pod Challenge. Tide is a laundry detergent company with one of their flagship products being these Tide Pods, which just looks like a regular dishwasher pod, but slowly throughout 2017 the concept of eating them had started to become a meme. It started with an Onion article in 2015, but really snowballed upon the release of a College Humor sketch in 2017 called Don't Eat the Laundry Pods, which is sitting on about 4.5 million views as of writing this video. This went further in people making casual jokes about it, and we finally reached a video by the Aaron Swan 669 titled Tide Pod Challenge, and thus the challenge was created. This became a huge trend overnight, with news articles warning people not to eat them, Tide doing everything they could to save their public appearance, and even College Humor going full circle to make a sketch about Tide Pods one last time. In between all this, however, there is something very serious to talk about, which are the deaths and injuries because of this challenge. Laundry pods are exactly that. Laundry pods. Their use isn't for consumption, but to clean your clothes. So it had chemicals in it that when ingested are incredibly poisonous, which according to the Sydney Morning Herald resulted in 39 13 to 19 year olds having been poisoned, linked to the challenge within 15 days of its virality. Do not eat laundry pods. Charlie Charlie Challenge. Charlie Charlie is a paranormal challenge in which you'd write down yes and no 2 times each on a piece of paper, put them in a grid with 2 pencils being the border, and ask it questions, seeing where the pencils would move to an answer to a question. Most infamously being Charlie Charlie are you here, or Charlie Charlie are you there. Has a concept pretty similar to a Ouija board, where you do the same thing with a board on the alphabet in it. Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge. The Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge for me highlights how harmful the internet can be sometimes, especially on the younger users of it. Kylie Jenner is one of the most famous women on the planet, coming from Kardashian fame and pushing this momentum onto her own makeup company. The Kardashians are known for their plastic surgery, and Kylie is no exception, having several surgeries done, which is no problem by the way. I don't have a problem with any plastic surgery, I just feel it's necessary to say this because I don't want to frame this as her fault, or does more of an effect that social media has on the minds of young people. In 2014, Kylie Jenner's lips had become a focal point of discussion surrounding her, with her denying accusations that she had lip filler injections. For later context by the way, she did actually have the surgery. Then, 2 influencers being Jenna Marbles and Alex Ramos perpetuated the idea that using a shot glass on your lips for an extended amount of time would create the effect that Kylie Jenner had, with Ramos encouraging his fans to do it. This became huge, with so many people around wanting to do this to get the big, desirable lips that Jenna had. A 12-year-old girl ended up doing the challenge and getting her lips seriously injured. Devious Lick Challenge. I fucking hate this challenge. The Devious Lick Challenge was a trend that was incredibly viral in 2021 and 2022, where you would steal items from your school and bring them home, posting them on TikTok to brag about this. And in case I need to tell you this, stealing is illegal. At the time this trend started to hit, I was actually in high school, and I remember that in the boys' bathroom, the doors were stolen. Several times. Moving on, the trend got so popular that TikTok started redirecting the hashtag to their community guidelines page, and removed videos containing the hashtag or text relating to Devious Lick. I remember a lot of them being monitors and stuff like, hey guys, I just put up this insane devious lick, like you didn't already own this monitor. Some of them did have soap dispensers in them, and it's just like, why would you do this? Spice challenges. Spice challenges are exactly like it says on the box, a challenge that's created from eating spicy food. Most normally this is done with the ghost pepper, as it's incredibly hot, having 1 million Scoville heat units, or an average day in Northern Territory. I remember this was a big one back with like Markiplier and his YouTube channel Hot Pepper Gaming. One of the largest examples of this would be the interview show Hot Ones, where interviewees eat hot wings and answer questions. And while this has always been like a general challenge with companies trying to make their own like eat hot chip challenge, but it's just a very incredibly viral trend, as watching people suffer is always something that people love about these challenges. Mannequin challenge / Andy's coming. The mannequin challenge was one of the largest trends in 2016 because how fun it was to look at. You had this really satisfying song playing in the background with those people frozen in incredibly creative positions as the camera scanned through all of them. It was extremely entertaining. The mannequin challenge got so big that it sort of broke through the internet and became a huge thing on its own, with countless celebrities, sports teams, and militaries doing it. I also added Andy's coming here because it had a pretty similar execution. Someone would yell Andy's coming and everyone would fall over, in reference to the scenes from the film Toy Story. NyQuil Chicken. Similar to the Tide Pod challenge, the NyQuil Chicken challenge created warnings by the FDA to not consume it and ignore the trend. NyQuil, for those unaware, is a medicine that's used to prevent cold and flu symptoms overnight. The meme started in 4chan, where someone showed off their sleepy time chicken, with a Twitter user posting pictures of it as well, with both of these happening in about 2017. The meme continued to grow with a recipe video in 2020, which is what kickstarted the extreme virality of this challenge. But it's obvious from anyone watching this video that it's satire, with spelling mistakes and incorrect increments listed for the chicken. In 2022, the meme started to become huge, with several health organizations reported on it, as I mentioned earlier. Much like with the Bird Box challenge, TikTok started removing videos that mention this challenge because it's pretty bad to eat fucking NyQuil chicken, especially when it's raw chicken. Milk Crate Challenge. The Milk Crate Challenge was a challenge in which you'd stack milk crates on top of each other to make a shape, normally a staircase, and then attempt to climb it without falling off. It's pretty easy to see how stupid and dangerous it is to do. Doctors quickly started warning people to not do this, as reported by Mai Yang of The Guardian and said by surgeon Sean Anthony. It's perhaps even worse than falling from a ladder. It's very difficult to brace yourself from the falls that I've seen in these videos, which would hurt a lot more and lead to more permanent injuries. Once again, that buzzkill, TikTok removed videos and made the hashtag lead to their safety guidelines, boo-hoo. And can I just say now, even though that was sarcasm, it is incredibly good that TikTok is actually trying to do something about these challenges and try to limit the amount they can harm children. Because as you'll see later in the video, these challenges really started to impact kids. Coronavirus Challenge. During the start of the pandemic, a Twitter user, Anna Laus, reposted a TikTok which involved her licking an airplane toilet seat, and people pretty much immediately started clowning on her, joking that she was doing the Coronavirus Challenge. I'm hoping this was 100% rage bait. I watched a Dr. Phil interview and she says that the media was lying to people about COVID-19, something that didn't happen because, well, COVID-19 was real and did harm people. But she does admit she was doing it for clout, but still. You are so fucking stupid. Despite this being a troll, she did inspire other people to do it as well, so it was clearly very an influential trend that did happen, such as a YouTube celebrity 2Mad doing it. Bald for Bieber. Bald for Bieber was an internet challenge created by trolls to convince people to shave their heads in support of Justin Bieber. Back in 2011-2012, Justin Bieber was not as well liked as he is now. He was pretty much hated all over the internet. A photoshopped tweet came from 4chan saying that Justin Bieber had been diagnosed with cancer and fans were shaving their heads in support of Justin. This gained a bit of online traction as people were either mocking it or shaving their heads in support of Justin. Yes, a few people did fall for this. This is so low on the iceberg because this is a challenge that has been mostly lost to time, with it happening over 12 years ago and not getting mentioned in modern times because, like I said earlier, Justin isn't hated right now as much as he was back then. Aerosol Challenge. When I wrote down Aerosol Challenge on the list, I was referring to one challenge in particular, one where you sprayed a can of deodorant on your skin for as long as possible, which can cause pain and skin irritation. But upon researching this, I found something much darker. In 2023, it was reported that a teenager had burned 75% of his body attempting the Aerosol Challenge. We take an aerial spray paint can and spray it with a lighter, which would create fire. You can do this with deodorant as well, which is where this confusion from myself came on. When this particular person, Mason Dark, attempted the challenge with his friends, it led him being hospitalized. Despite reports saying he learned about the challenge from TikTok and most of the media blaming them, TikTok was fast to first of all ban the search term, they're nothing but consistent, but also got on record saying, quote, "This is not a challenge on our platform and there were no videos about it in the first place." Benadryl challenge. Benadryl is an over-the-counter allergy medication that became the focus of a TikTok challenge in 2020, where a video urged people to take on the challenge and eat as much Benadryl as possible until they hallucinate. No, I don't know why every challenge at this point is eating things you seriously should not eat. It was reported in July of 2020 that 3 teenagers were in hospital who claimed they watched a video so they could get high through mass consumption of Benadryl. According to one of the teens, she ended up taking 14 of them in one night, which is a deadly amount of pills to consume. A different set of teenagers, one being in 2020 and one being in 2023's deaths, are linked to this challenge as well. Several videos uploaded to YouTube and TikTok were said that the teenagers watched them, one of these videos being someone discussing the side effects of the challenge and what their Benadryl high was like. Borg challenge. The Borg challenge, which honestly just sounds like a challenge in which you meet an alien called Borg, actually is a challenge that involves drinking.
Borg stands for Blackout Rage Gallon.
The term has existed since 2018 according to the Urban Dictionary, and its TikTok incarnation came around in about 2022. The way that you Borg is you get a gallon bottle of water, empty about half of it and fill the rest up with vodka and flavor packets. This is a pretty easy way to get blackout drunk, and at first it was actually praised by people for being a safe way to get blackout drunk. Gallon bottles have a lid you have to screw on and off, which can prevent roofing someone and having water, and keep you hydrated throughout the night as you're drinking. This idea of borging being safe, however, was debunked when 28 ambulances were called to a university to treat students for alcohol poisoning, linked to the upspike in binge drinking being a trend because of the Borg challenge. Dragon's Breath challenge. The Dragon's Breath challenge comes from a food vendor in the streets of Indonesia, which would sell a food, chikibulis, a rainbow food in appearance, to children, which contained liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen is about negative 196 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Due to how low this temperature is, consuming it can have some serious damage to your stomach. In 2017, a man nearly had to have half his stomach removed because of consuming liquid nitrogen. So when having this in a street where it's pretty common to purchase food, sell it in a rainbow candy-like package, children are going to eat this and get seriously injured. Of course, it also went viral on TikTok, people saying you should take the challenge. According to a Guardian article, at least 20 children were injured at the peak of this challenge's popularity. The Blue Whale Challenge. The Blue Whale Challenge is one of the darkest things I've heard on the internet.
The way that this challenge works is that you find someone to do the challenge with, either as a follower or as a commander. The commander will give the follower daily tasks, starting off as simple innocent things, but as the challenge goes on further, these become more dangerous, such as self-harm, with the final challenge being for the follower to take their own life.
The validity of this challenge has always been in question. Its origin is a Russian teenager in 2015 suicide being linked to the challenge. A journalist investigated this further, but the investigation was criticized at the time for a lack of credible evidence. The consensus of what's happened and what's credible in my opinion is that Blue Whale started as a hoax/rumor, then evolved into copycat groups starting to do the challenge for real. This happened as recently as March 8th, 2024, which a student in America was found dead after participating in the challenge. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I definitely recorded in a different style than I normally do, instead of me, not showing my face. I showed my face in this one, and my little backdrop, so I hope you enjoyed that. I did actually go out and get proper lighting equipment, I don't know if you can see that too much. So I really do hope you enjoyed the effort I put into this, and just enjoyed the video as a whole. Do not try anything I said in this video at home, you probably won't, you're smart. Anyway, see you, thank you for watching, bye.